Luke, congratulations. I guess it's never ideal to win by DLS, but you got yourselves right back into that game at the end there, didn't you?
Yeah, not ideal. I couldn't care less, to be honest, how we win, as long as we get over the line and get those 2 points. It was pretty touch and go there for quite a while. They were obviously a long way ahead on Duckworth Lewis. A couple of wickets and suddenly they're behind, and then it started raining straight away. But having said that, even if we went out there, they needed about 46 of 3 overs, which you never know, but we'd like to think that we can defend that. So, all in all, a great win.
It's amazing how it can change so quickly, because they say they got such a strong start, but you must have been really thrilled with how you kind of wrestled control again.
Yeah, I was pleased with how I bowled today. I think I managed to stop them scoring boundaries and got a few dot balls in there as well, and then suddenly the rate sort of builds up and they had to take a couple of chances, which is when the wickets come. I think that's the way you get wickets in T20 cricket, is trying to stop them basically scoring boundaries, and as the rate increases they have to take more chances, and that's when I managed to get a couple of them to hole out. So yeah, really pleasing, and just great to contribute.
Just talk us a little bit about your bowling, Luke. How much is this coming on now? How much do you feel like, well, clearly you are a genuine kind of option and part of the bowling attack?
Yeah, to be honest, I'm really pleased personally because it's something I've really worked hard on all winter. I made a commitment to sort of change really how I'm bowling the ball at the moment. I'm not really. Last year, I obviously bowled traditional leg spinners and off spinners. This year, I've sort of changed the way I'm bowling. I made a commitment to myself to commit to it properly, trying to get a bit more pace on the ball. To be honest, it sounds ridiculous to say this because I don't compare myself to him at all, but watching how Rashid Khan bowls his leg spinners, and just trying to basically copy how he does it with it. It's a bit more pace on the ball, a bit more bounce. So yeah, it's great to see it, sort of the work you put in the winter pay off. I always felt like it had potential. It was just a case of showing myself and proving to others that it works, and hopefully I can keep doing that.
Your approach seems to have changed. Is that part of it as well?
Approach? My run-up, yes,
your run-up.
That's correct. Yeah. So I'm obviously running in a bit quicker. All about trying to get a bit more pace and bounce onto the ball. Maybe a little bit less side spin. But the way, looking at how people like Rashid Khan are so successful, is they obviously pretty quick through the air, don't give much flight. It's quite hard to use your feet to, and if you do hold a good length, slightly back of a length in T20 cricket, it's quite hard to hit. So that's what I committed to, and thankfully it paid off today.
Have you put the off spinners to one side then?
Not completely. Every now and then I'd sort of throw a Yorker in there. And in terms of red ball cricket, it's something that Carl Crowe and Glenn Chappie are pretty keen for me to keep developing. But in terms, there's only so much time in the day, so I sort of made a commitment this winter to invest a lot of time into this type of bowling. But hopefully, if I'm required in red ball cricket, I can still contribute with more traditional style of bowling.
I guess it's important, isn't it, even more so now in cricket, to be, what's the phrase, multi-dimensional. That's a big part of it, isn't it?
Exactly right, and I think, I did contribute last year. I ended up playing more as a bowler last year and as a middle order batsman. I didn't expect to have opportunities at the top of the order batting-wise this summer, given the fact that we have sort of Jos Buttler available, Phil Sewell, all the big guns coming back from the IPL. And nobody foresaw Keaton Jennings getting injured, which is obviously horrible for him, but it ended up giving me an opportunity at the top of the order, which I didn't envisage having. And I think because I feel quite confident with where my bowling's at, it's given me a freedom to go out there and try and take down the power play. Obviously today was a bit different, losing 2 early wickets, and with Dane and Crofty both injured, I felt a little bit more responsibility going out there today. It was bouncing and swinging and seaming around a little bit for the first few overs, so I could sort of play myself in, which was actually quite a nice feeling, and luckily got a couple of partnerships together.
You've clearly taken your chance at the top, haven't you? I mean, you must be thrilled with how you're playing at the minute.
Yeah, I'm trying to. Obviously, it's a privilege to play for Lancashire in T20 cricket at all, which is something when I first moved here I didn't really necessarily think I'd be doing, let alone sort of batting in the top of the order and contributing with the ball. So yeah, I'm obviously working hard on it, and it's a privilege to bat in that top order, surrounded by the best players in the world. still pinch myself. Obviously, I've known Josh for a long, long time, but we haven't crossed paths for a long time as his career's gone a certain direction. So obviously playing and batting with him at the same time, watching how he goes about it, it's quite inspiring, really. So hopefully it's good signs for the rest of the tournament.
In terms of the rest of the tournament, you had that kind of little bit of a wobble with the 4 defeats. You bounced back beautifully, 3 wins on the spin. You're right on course again, I think, to try and finish in the top 4 again, aren't you?
Yeah, I think those games were a strange one, really. I think as a batting unit, we may have been guilty of thinking that we've got so many unbelievably good players that we didn't take enough responsibility. And ended up making a few more errors and being a bit sort of blasé about it, potentially. But having said that, it's T20 cricket. You look at all the teams across both divisions or both conferences this year, and the best team's still losing games of cricket as well. So hopefully it bodes well that we're building up, we're playing better cricket each game we go, moving into the back end of the tournament.
I think you've got one. I think it's one more away match in this competition, and the rest are here as well. So you're pretty optimistic you can try and finish even in the top 2, perhaps.
Yeah, we've obviously got a great record here at Emirates Old Trafford, but I think if we play the cricket what we're capable of playing, I don't think it matters where we play. It's just a case of people taking responsibility, putting their hands up and being the one to get that performance that wins the game, just like Stephen Croft the other night. We obviously lost through a few wickets, and to get that 100, and Daryl Mitchell's just been unbelievably consistent for us, and he's been the one that sort of we've relied on when others have failed. So, we take responsibility individually out there, and hopefully we can win the key moments if and when we get into knockout cricket, which we weren't able to do obviously last year, but it bodes well.
And Worcester on Tuesday, what type of opponent will they be, do you reckon?
Well, like you said, I don't think we got a great record at New Road. I think last year we lost there, so a little bit of a bogey team for us at their place. But the guys are confident, individuals are putting performances in, and hopefully we can go there and get a good result.
Cheers, Luke.